lot of people telling me to try to play hardcore, and it's just, I'm not a big fan of this. I mean, even if I did hit something here, it's just not, what's the point? Oh, yeah, I'm at it. Yeah, I have no words. I'm done using that sniper rifle. Let's go in the ground war for a chance to actually hit some crazy shit. All right, so as you guys know, if you watched my videos over the weekend, which actually, it's kind of a possibility that you didn't, because for whatever reason, all those videos didn't like show up in a lot of people's sub boxes for some reason. I don't know why. It's just good. Every single video over that weekend, except even the request video, I had people like complaining that they weren't able to see it and they weren't able to view it and all this other shit. Some people are telling me that with this whole YouTube age gate shit going on, they're saying that my channel was getting age gated. Nah, it's a little far-fetched. It just, I think sub boxes are just weird. I'm not denying its existence. I'm just saying I don't think it's happening to my channel, but there is some pretty sketchy sounding shit going on, but I'm not going to talk about that. Anyway, over that weekend, if you watched at least one of the videos, obviously you would know that I went to PAX. Ended up going to PAX East and stuff, and I didn't have like my own booth or anything like that, and the way that PAX was set up is, if you've ever been to PAX before, or at least PAX East anyway, or maybe it just wasn't as crowded this time, or it was maybe even more crowded than other ones, maybe PAX Prime or something, but it is extremely crowded. Like, there is just an insane amount of people that go there. Like, constantly you are just like bumping into somebody, brushing up against somebody, no matter what floor you go on in the entire convention center. The whole time that I was there, it was great. It was fun. I met a shit ton of people. I took a whole bunch of pictures, and it was just getting there and leaving, which was the worst part of the whole thing. I hate traveling. Just as you guys know, I hate going outside to begin with, and then just to travel on top of it, just not even being able to do anything that I enjoy, just sitting there on a train or a plane or in a car or something like that, getting car sick. The amount of Dramamine that I had to take in order to keep my stomach from actually just exploding and I just throw up all inside of like cars or trains or some shit like that, it's just terrible. Unfortunately, it was a non-drowsy Dramamine, so I couldn't even fall asleep. I don't usually take pills, like things that like, you know, something like, oh, I got a headache or whatever. I don't usually take like a bunch of Tylenol or anything like that. It's just weird. I figured like, yeah, no, I'll just get over it. It's whatever. Kind of like this weird shit that I have. I'm just like afraid that it's gonna kill me or something. I don't know. You know how I just don't like putting shit inside my body. So it was either take the Dramamine, which is just like, basically it just like settles like motion sickness and stuff, or I throw up all over the place. Not happening. But I ended up going to PAX, and it was like the first actual like gaming convention that I've ever gone to. I think by the time I made the video, it was already like way too late to actually get any passes to get inside. Even though there was a lot of people there that actually didn't have any passes there. On Friday and Sunday, like they weren't even checking passes. It was fucking weird. Saturday, they were checking passes like hardcore. I had like a content creator pass or some shit like that. There was like a media, a content creator. There's one that was like EXH. I don't really know what it stood for. And then there was like the general admission. My girlfriend and I, we both had the content creator passes. I didn't really understand the difference between all of them. It was a whole bunch of booths and shit, and to be honest, I actually didn't play a single game while I was there. I went there, met up with a shit ton of people. Like I met Thief there, I met Revex, I was there with Trick and Mike, Matt or Magikarp, his girlfriend B, Bricky Frost. There was like a whole bunch of people at the Twitch booth, a couple people there that I really didn't want to see, but I saw them anyway. The good thing is that they avoided me, so I didn't have to avoid them. Like I was saying, I was, you know, meeting a whole bunch of people, and there was a lot of people when I went to the World Semifinals. It was like a gaming event, but it wasn't a convention where like, you know, people would meet up and they have booths and got all these games there, and like more people, you know, gather there than obviously at, you know, the World Semifinals for one specific game, you know? All sorts of people from all sorts of different communities, video creators, streamers, all sorts of people were there. So with a whole bunch of people there, obviously me, I started having a whole bunch of people like coming up to me and saying hi to me, and they wanted to take pictures, and I had to sign a whole bunch of stuff. I signed well over like 100, 200 things. Like I signed so much stuff. I started carrying a Sharpie in my pocket the second day because it was so crazy. I did get a Sharpie from somebody else just so I can continue to sign things because a lot of people didn't have things to like get people to sign stuff. I didn't think at any point in my life when I was making YouTube videos I would have to like be signing shit. And obviously I've signed things before, but it was just a lot of people. And when I announced that I was going to PAX, I got like some criticism from people because they were like, oh, why didn't you tell your subscribers sooner? You know, we could know that you were there and all this other stuff. Like I didn't really think about it that way. I went there to just, you know, enjoy the event and everything like that, and I did meet a shit ton of people. It's not like I was trying to avoid people or some shit. It was just something that I didn't think like, you know, hey, come meet me at PAX when I don't have a booth. Because the thing that happens at PAX is there's a lot of security there, and since it's so crowded, if I don't have a booth where it's a secluded thing out of the way of like all the traffic of people that are walking through looking at things, if I don't have a booth and people just start stopping me somewhere, if one person starts taking a picture, the thing that happens is they'll start taking a picture, and then everybody else that's looking to get pictures with a bunch of YouTubers or streamers or something, they start crowding around, looking around like, who is this guy? Do I know who this is? And the crowd just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, eventually to the point where it just starts blocking up and starts congesting this entire area. And I could get in a lot of trouble, like if I held a meetup inside of of the convention or out front of the convention where all the people are trying to walk in and all this shit. Security would tell me to leave. Other people that held meetups, I guess they held it around other places in Boston. But I was already signing like so many things inside of the place. It was just in a whole bunch of people's videos. People had me like say like really weird shit to cameras and stuff. They told me to like tell their friends to go fuck themselves. And I was just like, sure, okay. But like 30-plus-year-old adults, mothers and fathers were like coming up to me, taking pictures with me and shit. It was really fucking cool. I just didn't expect people even close to that age group to even watch my videos. And I realized that my past few videos weren't really anything, I don't know, they were talking about things that are just kind of like Resident Sleeper. I get that, sorry. After I'm done having things to talk about, you know, we'll go back to the usual, you know, screaming at random shit in a stupid ass game. Not really sure what other game to play at the moment either. Outlast 2 will be out soon, couple weeks or some shit like that, a month? I don't remember. So that'll be out soon and we'll be chilling. Double uploaded and shit. Oh, that's gonna be exhausting. I mean, I don't really have any crazy stories other than just like, you know, it was crazy, you know, meeting up with people and stuff, but I can't even describe how that whole thing felt, you know? When I was leaving the event on Sunday, there was a few people there that were like, you know, talking to me and stuff, and they were like, yeah, man, you seriously gotta meet up, and we gotta do this, we gotta do that, and I was like, yeah, sure. I met up with Driftor when he was streaming, and as I was leaving the event, I ended up meeting up with PJ, Overflow. I didn't go to any of the after parties because I was hearing all sorts of stories before even going there that, like, some of these after parties are just pretty crazy, okay? I ain't getting roofied around here. Overall, besides, like, the travel and shit, there was a whole bunch of... I'll talk about this separately. I am so... Woo, the way in and out was just absolutely awful trying to get there to Boston and leave. Not to mention that Boston is the coldest place I have ever gone in my life. And to be fair, that's the furthest I've ever been away from the equator, which makes sense, but it's just... oh.
Jeff, you little fucking piece of shit!
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. My most recent videos are popping up on the screen here. And, yeah. It's been Jeff, guys. Later.